What's happening, y'all? Welcome to my walkthrough for Shadow of the Erdtree. So, for those of you that has been with me, we had just concluded our Elden Ring base game walkthrough, and we're jumping right back in for the DLC walkthrough, Shadow of the Erdtree. So, we did our last minute prep, covered our trophies, got all of our bell bearings, great runes, boss remembrances, you name it. Now we're ready to go. So before we get started, guys, I do want to let you know we suggested our last episode on the base game walkthrough. We suggested everyone have at least 48 to 60 Smith and Stones. I'm missing a couple. I kind of ran out of time, didn't feel like farming up more, but it's not a problem as that's almost 3 weapons I can fully upgrade, and buying a couple here and there, it's not really an issue. I'd also suggest having about 5 somber stones of each one. That'd probably cover you through most of the DLC, to be completely honest. If you're into crafting, make sure you have all your crafting stuff you need. If you're into consumables, make sure you have all the consumable stuff you need. You will be able to hop back and forth, of course. However, I just find it nice to be prepared where you don't have to keep running back and forth. Now, before we get started, we'd like to suggest a few things. If you go through the DLC, be prepared for these enemies to hit harder than anything you're used to in the base game and have much more health than anything you're used to in the base game. And that's not even half the issue. It's also their crazy movesets and infinite amount of stamina. So I would highly suggest making sure you do not have any weapon that isn't fully upgraded. So you want to have plus 10 on your sombers, plus 25 on your regulars, and just make sure all your stuff's fully upgraded. Get the armor sets you want. I would highly suggest Dragon Crow. Dragon Crest, Great Shield Talisman for obvious reasons, as I just stated. Now the enemies are going to hit over here. Besides that, something to boost your damage is nice. Blocking is obviously going to be really helpful here, but honestly, for the time being, let's go ahead and switch that out for a little bit more survivability. I'm going to go with Taker's Cameo. So something to protect us, something to get us more health on heal. Blocking's nice. Yeah, we'll go with blocking for now. They're talismans. They're meant to be switched out. So we did skip all dialogue and cutscenes during the base game as it is 2 years old. The DLC is new, so we'll be revealing all that to you during this walkthrough. Now, I do suggest you guys do whatever build you want. You made it through the base game. I don't need to suggest a build for you. But if you want to know what I'm going with, we're jumping in with like a pyromancy. I do have 17 arcane to use Morgoth's cursed sword. Now, by the end of the DLC, this be more of like a quality faith build. But until we start getting stuff, I'm gonna go with stuff that kind of matches my pyromancy theme. 40 in faith to make sure I got access to all the incantations related to pyromancy and a little bit of scaling. That's also going to cover most of the incantations we get here in the DLC. When we start getting to anything heavier than that, we can always respec. So my main stats is Dex. In case you're wondering, there's going to be better Dex weapons in the DLC than Strength. There's a few, there's a few of everything. But I did think Dex shined really hard in the DLC. 16 Intelligence and 16 Faith is going to give you access to the biggest damaging weapon I've found, which does magic and faith fire, so magic and faith damage. It's really, really, really nice, and we'll get to all that. But yeah, I do think first, you're a newer player, it's your first playthrough, you should definitely go for Rolana's twin swords. So I will suggest that, but you do need 16 of each. However, just make sure you got your build in order. 55 vigor, make sure we have enough health. 25 mind, make sure we have enough to cast. 25 endurance, as I don't really need any more with what I'm doing. We're going to get a lot of levels here too, guys. So we'll get, more endurance for blocking as we need that towards the end. But yeah, just make sure, you got your build dialed in. Faith is really, really fun over here. There's a lot of great builds. If you felt Pyromancy was slept on in the base game, believe me, they're going to make up for it. So this is Letta. We're going to go ahead and talk to her and jump on in.
Were you guided here by kindly Mikola? I am Leda. And like you, I was guided by faith along his honorable path. Touch the withered arm, and you too will be transported to the realm of shadow where Mikola the Kind now dwells. My compatriots are there already. Like us, they have heard kindly Mikola's call. If you can find them, they are certain to lend you aid. Come now, touch the withered arm, and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Okay, so if you know from my walkthroughs, we're always going to suggest you exhaust all dialogue, as everything from talismans to armor to equipment's hidden behind dialogue sometimes. Hell, the shortcut for mode was hidden behind dialogue, so it's really important to do so, guys. Now let's go ahead and touch the withered arm and jump on in. So I highly suggest everyone do a blind playthrough your first time, but if you are struggling, which I mean, I have 2,000 hours in Elden Ring and I struggled badly. It's very difficult, so I'm here for you guys. I don't think it's really going to take away from it. I've used walkthroughs when before I figured out these types of games, and I thought it was a blast going along with someone with you, kinda. You know what I mean? But yeah, just really taking the world here, guys. It's quite incredible. It's nice to just look at the sights, and so I did want to mention that. So, before we get started, this episode will be about getting the best start possible. So, similar to what I did on my walkthrough, but the base game, we're going to go around and get upgrades. We're going to get character upgrades. We're going to get summon upgrades, as you know. In fact, let's go ahead and hit the side of grace so we can go over this. So, now you're going to see an option for Shadow Realm Blessing. I know everyone likes to call these skidoo trees, but I'm going to call them scatter trees, just because skidoo sounds made up. Anyway, so scatter tree blessing is going to go up to plus 20. That is your character. That's how you upgrade your damage. Doesn't matter if you're maxed at 713 or if you're level 200. You're pretty much all going to take the same percentage-based damage and do the same percentage-based damage. The only way to upgrade your character and level up is to use these blessings. And you also have revered spirit ash blessings, which is going to do the same thing for your summons, but this goes up to 10 while this goes up to 20. So we'll be going around getting a bunch of scatter tree blessings and revered spirit ash blessings. I'm gonna go grab you guys some early armor. I'm gonna get you some early talismans. And besides that, that's probably gonna be it for our first episode. It's not gonna take 3 episodes like it did on our base game walkthrough, as we're just gonna stick to the first area here. So obviously, the first thing we want to do is go for our map straight ahead. Now, you don't have to fight this guy, but if you do want to see what the enemies in the DLC are going to be like, he's a good test. Now, he is an elite enemy. Basic enemy, just more of an elite enemy. Kind of like your swordstress maidens and, I guess, pumpkinhead, stuff like that. But you're going to find out real quick just how challenging they could be. Oh, forgot about that damn grab. Yeah, if you see we're already in trouble. Ooh. But yeah, so like I said, infinite stamina, you'll see real soon. A lot of health, they do a lot of damage. Now look at him go. He's just gonna keep coming and coming and coming. And that's just, kind of how these enemies work, guys. Now I was more of a parry guy myself. The DLC did turn me into no skill on her shield kind of guy quick. It's just nice to be able to get your Ashes of War. And if you aren't used to that playstyle, you'll adapt pretty quickly, and you'll be thankful you did. It's a lot of fun to go no skill and guard counters and things of that nature. So, did want to mention that, and I found it immensely helpful, as these enemies are extremely hard to parry. And like I said, no skill really saved my ass more than not. You know what I mean? We got some lore here. Everyone burned to cinders, burned away, put to the torch by Mesmer and his lot. What did we do to deserve such a fate? We merely lived our lives, we lived in peace. So, Mesmer pretty much burned this world. He is America's son, as you'll learn as we go along. Something happened to her, so she ordered him to do such things. And we'll get into the lore slowly but surely, guys. So, but just so you kind of know what's happening, what they're talking about. Now, from there, all we're going to be doing is going north. We're going to get the side of grace, and we're going to turn it to nighttime. So there are no nighttime enemies in the DLC. However, there are nighttime larval tiers. Now, they're exactly the same. The item description's different. They're larval tiers from the Shadow Realm, so, they're a little different, but they work the same. You'll see what I mean. Alright, so now that we have our map, this is our first area. Now, we're going to be doing 100% of this section. From here, this is like the very last place to go in the game, so ignore that. But here's your first legacy dungeon right in here. So we're going to end with that. But yeah, everything before this bridge, all this. We're going to knock that out first. However, before we actually start doing content, which will be next episode, you guys are going to want to put a marker. No, that's the painting. Put a marker right around here. Here. And here. I'm going to leave that up for a minute. So that's going to be our first one. It's pretty much just straight across east. Then around this curve. There's actually like a little square on the map you can see, so that's, the northeast of this little ledge and at the very bottom. But yes, you do want it to be nighttime. That's the only time the larval tears show up, and there's no sense of running back just for a larval tear. So my point was a little bit off, really about like right here. But so you're gonna see a little graveyard. This guy holding a pot that's sparkling. Hit him quick, real quick. That's gonna give you one of your fragments. Scatter tree fragments can be found across the realm of shadow. Consume these at sites of grace to bolster your scatter tree blessing. The scatter tree blessing bolsters the recipient's ability to deal and negate damage, but also has no influence outside the realm of shadow. So it's going to give you more damage, and you'll be able to take more damage. Like the enemies will start doing less damage the more you're upgraded. That's how you do upgrades. That's how you level up here, guys. So now we're going for a number 2 marker. It's going to be a blessing for your summons. Now normally, and same thing here, revered spirit ash can be found across the realm of shadow. Consume this ash at sites of grace to bolster your revered spirit ash blessing. The revered spirit ash blessing bolsters both summoned spirits and spectral steeds' ability to damage and negate damage, but also has no influence out of the realm of shadow. So we got that. Yes, but normally when you find these little statues and it has the blessings for your summons, there's going to be curse blades guarding them about 98% of the time, okay? That's that crazy guy that's doing circles with his blood loss blades that we fought that jumped down on us. So, look out for that. They're out there. Trust me. Here's your larval tear at nighttime. I'm not even sure if I found all these. I took extremely detailed notes, as I always do. The people that watch my walkthroughs know that. But you can only see them at night. So every time you get to a new location, if you really want to get as many as you can, it's not going to hurt, to change it at nighttime and do a loop around. Like, even at the beginning, there's, the one here, then there's one there, then there's one over here. And that's just in the first section of the map. That's 3. And I know of, like, a few others, but, I'm still kind of trying to find little stuff. We're about 2/3 of our notes for the DLC so far. For those of you who don't know, we already did, this has been out for 6 weeks now. The reason I'm so far behind is we already did a walkthrough for Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree. My last save file for the last episode got messed up on, the Elden Ring base game. I tried to redo that, so I was like, I'm just going to redo it all, try to do a better job, maybe, not really a better job, but maybe find out how to get us more powerful weapons earlier and stuff like that, see if we could just do it better. So that's why I'm a little bit behind everybody, but, figured I'd let you guys know. So from here, all we're doing is getting on this main road and taking it all the way down to the church. So this is going to get a weapon for strength, boys. What I really like about this weapon, it's a great hammer. The poise damage is enormous. You're going to break stance a lot with this. And here's kind of like your regular foot soldiers in the area. As you see, our damage is good, but their damage is crazy. Watch this. Look at that. Look at that. That is a basic ass enemy, guys. I love when they spam. I love it. Like all he wants to do, bro. What the fuck? It's all he's doing. That's crazy to me. But yeah. Anyways, the weapon we're gonna go do. Yeah, they don't have much poison. It's almost like a DPS race. Who can do the most damage first, But we're about to fight a very elite enemy. He's got a big great shield and a big great hammer. Now you get this great hammer. Now what I like about it, it's not a somber weapon, but it does come with holy. Meaning that you can change the affinity to put fire and you'll still keep that holy and the physical from it. So it's got a lot of poise breaking. It's got holy that doesn't go anywhere no matter which affinity you change it to. So you can do like frostbite, magic, holy, physical, or fire, holy, physical, whatever. Whatever goes with your build the best, right? So now with keeping a little bit of arcane. Oh, I never throw my arcane spells. We'll do that. But yeah, we should have access, even with just 17 arcane, we should have access to almost all the arcane spells that are fun anyways. Alright, so beating him is a guaranteed drop of this great hammer. You used to get the shield, now shield's like a chance drop, and you have a guaranteed drop of the hammer itself. And also behind him, we're going to get 2 more fragments. He's quite formidable, I'm telling you right now, guys. He really is. big attack. What I do like about this incantation when it works right is, for one, it knocks them back like that. It, picks them up off the ground. But also, when you're sitting there, guys, and you're bending down to do this, they're swinging and they miss you. So it's a good way to dodge and get huge damage at the same time. So, just good to talk about. So that's a Black Steel Great Hammer. Like I said, Strength Faith, so 25 Strength, 11 Dex, 17 Faith. You got built-in Holy and, your physical plus your scaling. Like I said, you can change the affinity since it's not a somber weapon and get multiple elemental, elemental attacks. So it's really nice. Like I said, you do Fire and Holy, both skill with Faith. It could be really badass, you know what I mean? So that's worth talking about. Let's see if he drops something good for us. Smithing Stone 7. So all the enemies here drop Smithing Stones like crazy. They really do. It's quite nice. They pile up. And it's not like, so that's 2 more fragments. But it's not like the base game where, the early areas you only get 1s and 2s. And, no, they could all, like, when I was taking notes, he dropped like 4 3s, which was dope. But yeah, they just dropped a 7 for us that time, you know what I mean? Alright, so from here, we got our first lower tier. We got 2 fragments there. We got another fragment there. We got the fragment for our blessings. So let's go ahead and jump back to Scorched Ruins. Okay, so from here, I guess we'll keep it night a little bit longer. Well, all we're doing is first we're going to run straight to this little square, get you the backhand blades. Then we're just going to this cross in the road. You can put, where the roads cross. You can put a marker if you feel you need to, but I just don't really think you do. So as I stated, we won't be doing content until next episode. However, feel free to, explore around, and I wouldn't go past that bridge, but feel free to, explore around and fight the guides as we go through. I'm going to be putting multiple episodes out this first day, so rest assured, we have plenty to play along with anyways. Alright, can check out these ladies. You're going to find these guys a lot in the Madness Zone. Yeah, that's right, there's a whole Madness region in the DLC. My favorite region entirely, like, it's so awesome. Most people hate it, and I know why. But it's just really cool going through. Literally like a horror movie. Seriously. Alright, so I'm going to go up here and get a new weapon type, backhand blades. So they're okay. I've played around with them. I mean, they go with my build, they go with Dex. If anyone wonder what your inventory looks like when you actually hit 100% of the game, look at this shit. This is what your inventory should look like, guys. If you played the game right, like you're supposed to, and do it all, that's what it looks like. Getting all your secret stuff, your optional stuff. So a lot of options here. Now I need to really put them in storage, but just want to show that off. Really proud of it. But yeah, so it's a new weapon type, so it's gonna have its own like slot, you know what I mean, for that weapon type. Obviously there's a few backhand blades, not many. New weapon types, but they didn't put too many new weapons for each, you know what I mean, like types. Now, real quick attacks, so like I said, really good for Dex, obviously. I played around with them, like with Frostbite and Bleed, they're okay, you know. To me, there's just better options to charge. I don't know, they're just kind of weird. I guess the little stabs mixed in, I don't know, something just felt off about it to me. But a lot of people love them, you know, they are really cool. Keep in mind they're unupgraded here, but the actual work is quite nice. You just work that. Get your dagger. The criticals are worth damage, so yeah. Still gonna take him out and do some charges. Good lord, that charge is powerful. But yeah, like I say, keep in mind they are unupgraded, but they could be, you know, they could be fun. So we got the weapons. So now we're just gonna go over here to 3 Paths Cross. And so you put a marker if you want to, don't really need to, but it's kind of marking where we're trying to go here. And like I said, we don't start doing content until next episode, so that's when we're going to really, really, really slow down and make sure we're not missing anything. You know, we're going to thoroughly go over everything. So obviously, yes, it's very curated. Go here, get this, go here, get this. But, you know, when we get places we're going to, you know, fully clear out the enemies and, make sure we're looking around really, really closely and getting all the items. Now these are crosses of Mikola. Mikola's trying to become a god, so he's like disposing of his body pretty much, and that's what these crosses are. Anytime you see one, you want to interact with it. Cardboards coalesce. I abandoned here the first of the flesh of my body. Now these are NPCs. Since we aren't actually doing content yet, we'll be talking to them all next episode. So we want to get that side of grace. We've already got like 4 fragments, guys. So like the first one only takes 1. Then for a while it'll take 2 fragments apiece, and then it'll go to 3 from like there on out. And what we're trying to do is go right around here. Because it is nighttime, there is another larval tier we can get right here. There's also a side of grace that we're going to want later on. Now, if you are exploring, I want to let you guys know now, the pests from the main game, from like Caelid and the erdtree, do not attack them. Late game, there'll be enemies again, but they're actually involved in a quest, and it's going to kind of ruin a quest for you. So you're going to make sure, do not attack them. I'm telling you that because, like I said, if you want to go around and explore this area on your own, you can. But you want to watch out for certain things, you know what I mean? You really do. Because you could just mess some stuff up. I guess we'll go and grab this so, we already have it. Now from here, we can go and change it back to daytime. There's no other larval tiers in this first area. Okay. So from here, let's go and jump over to 3 Paths Cross. Or, ride torrent. I'm just a lazy bastard, don't mind me. Alright, now we're going to be going up the road. Oh, while I'm at the side of grace, I'm going to just change my spells on because I got the black blade. I can't even use it, so there's no point in me having that on. And you can go ahead and get your blessings. I just say, let's wait to the end and get all of them at once. What was I doing? So, yeah, I have no need for that. So now I got some arcane. Which ones can I use? I don't really care for swarm of flies, but since I have the slots, and it still goes with the pyromancy theme, which I like. That's because it's blood flame. So it's kind of nice. I have a lot of big hitting fire spells. We got survivability type stuff. Then we got blood fire. So that's cool. All right. We could have went with Rivers of Blood, but it's such a cheesy weapon, Figure I'm not going to use it. Even if it is the DLC and we're past the game. Oh wait, he's worth big money, isn't he? Yeah. Those guys are typically worth 700-800 runes, which is nice. It's like the cheapest amount of runes you get for any enemy here. So once again, make sure you interact with the Mikola's Cross. Cardboards coalesce. I abandoned here a part of the flesh of my body. Grab another good lord. Grab another scatter tree fragment. I really don't know why I keep saying that. I'm gonna work on that. So this is more. This is Ansbach, and we'll get to them later. For now, we're gonna go on here. So this is our first legacy dungeon. Now we're not gonna go all the way in it. We're gonna go in this first door, which you have to go through this whole building before you actually get into it. But coming in here now allows us to grab another upgrade for your summons. Just like I suggested you having all your weapons up to +10, make sure you have your special summons or all your summons that you plan on using up to +10. These guys look really intimidating, but they're just not. Not too bad. If it gets in your way, just, fuck them up. This is kind of fun if it works out. So there's going to be a bunch of little scorpions. That never gets old. Never gets old. Alright. And we're not grabbing nothing else here. We're not doing nothing else here. We're just getting this, We're not going to be doing this for at least 3 or 4 episodes. So, if you want to run down the stairs, you can. I'm trying to save time so we can get all of our items and wrap on up. We're only 25 minutes in, but I just got off work. It's kind of late. I want to make sure I have enough time to get a couple episodes for you guys. So when I start uploading them, you guys, have 3-4 hours a day, to be able to play through. So as we leave here, guys, what we're doing is, that's the way we came in, but we're not going there. What we're going to do is just hang to the right and kind of work our way up this little cliff on the side. Now this is going to bring us to a little optional zone. It's like an arcane zone. A lot of blood loss enemies. You'll get some blood loss weapons over there. Get a arcane talisman. So we'll be doing this next episode. But for now, there is some stuff we can get, So it's very beneficial. It's worthwhile. We'll be able to get another fragment here. And when you're going about, remember to pick up your crafting items. This is not typical crafting for the base game. Since you only get this stuff here when you want to use this crafting, you gotta remember, you don't have a bunch of stock anymore, right? So, God, you guys are annoying me. That ought to do it. Yeah, like the base game, you have crafting piled up. You're going around the world just picking up every little thing. Here you don't, and even if you didn't craft in the base game, you'll want to craft here. There's some pretty cool stuff, guys. To be completely honest, I hardly crafted in the base game, and I caught myself crafting here, like, surprisingly amount, since I never really do it, But as soon as we get that side of grace, let's just go to the right. There's another new enemy type, but the reason I bring that up is red flesh mushrooms. That's one of the best crafting things you're going to want to get. That's why I mentioned it. These guys look more intimidating than what they are. You could actually break their stagger quite easily. Now we're going to go straight back to the right. This is the same thing we did our first stop when we, kind of smacked the guy with the pot and got the scatter tree blessing from him. So we're just doing that again. They're typically in the middle between all the guys, or they're like in the very back. So, and as I stated, we'll be, going through and fully completing all this stuff, but right now we just want to get our good start. So now if anyone is wanting to go along with my build, I would highly suggest it. I would. It's going to be extremely strong, because we don't really recommend builds for the DLC. I did want to mention that, yeah. I've already been here. I know where the most fun, badass, damaging weapons are. So yeah, if you want to go along with the pyromancy build, it's going to be very powerful and a lot of fun, guys. So from here, now we're taking the left side. Now we don't have a cursed blade to deal with on this one either, but it's coming, trust me. As soon as we cross that bridge and go to our next region, it's like every statue we see for our fragments for our summons is gonna, have one to deal with. So now these are grave birds, another new enemy type. They're, they can get on you, but for the most part, they're just kind of nothing, Oh, that's the one I want. Didn't want to go down the hill. Being lazy. Hey, come on, kill him. So yeah, these guys have a chance to drop some smithing stones. It's not guaranteed, but they drop them quite often, and they'll drop like 3 and 4 at a time. Right? One time I got like 5 4s from them. It's pretty badass. So we're just gonna stay on our main path here, kind of work our way up to the left uphill. So this is going to lead on up to your first artist shack. Just like the base game, there's going to be paintings to solve. Now this one we'll solve next episode to get a really good shield. Because you got to remember, you guys seen the trailer. You got Mesmer, he's one of the main bosses for the DLC. So all these soldiers we're seeing are his soldiers. They do fire damage, right? Well, this painting leads to a badass medium shield with like 63 fire damage negation. And believe me when I tell you, it's going to be extremely useful for the DLC, at least the first half while we're encountering Mesmer soldiers. So from here, you're going to kind of go back out like the way we came in. However, we're trying to get downhill, and there is a little, safer drop. Because you could actually take that up the other side and drop down onto the walls of the church we're headed for. But you got to be really good on your horse, guys, to pull that off. Now we're about to get in a fight, so I'm just taking these guys out so, you know, they're not getting behind me. Because you're also going to see we have different runes here. Alright, the broken rune is going to be like your rune 1. Instead of being worth 100, it's worth 500. Or instead of being worth 200 runes, it's worth 500 now. And you obviously have your Shadow Realm runes, and they're worth like, a 2 is worth like 10,000. Because you see, a lot of, everything's just worth more here. So up here we're going to have another Curse Blade. Don't be a dick, bro. He's being a dick. I just told him not to be. Oh, you dick. So they can drop that weapon? No, you fucker. So they can drop that weapon. It's actually a somber weapon. It's technically backhand blades. So, you know, I don't think you can actually buff it or anything, but it does have a pretty strong moveset, especially the Asher 4. Also has bleed. You know, like innate bleed. And I could be wrong. I just know you can't, like, change the affinities. You might be able to buff it. I'd have to look into that. Could you imagine Blood Flame Blade on that thing? Good lord, you melt the damn DLC. Okay. Now my great rune effect's gone. I'm seeing my true stats. They look pretty good, you know? Look pretty good. We'll get quite a few levels here, guys. I always finish the main game at level 175 for some reason. Like, if you do all the content, you'll definitely be 175, 180, which is crazy for a playthrough, but that's just how it is. Here, I usually finish between, like, if I come over 175, we'll be, like, at least level 200, 210, depending on how we do our content. We're doing the same thing, working our way down, and I want to take out the Curse Blade, because same reason I took out the rats. I didn't want them following me, but he is up far enough where I don't think the rats are going to follow us all the way over there, but yeah, we do definitely want to take him out. As we're going to kind of be on foot, picking up armor, picking up a talisman, and you know what I mean, so. Already got 50,000 runes since we've been here. Had to piss me off. You know? I'm trying not to hit you with the Asher or trying to be polite about it, but alright, so at least let's get on up to the church. And I did say take him out because I don't want him following us. Those guys will, dude, they will follow you so far away. Like, it's crazy. But this leads us up to the Church of Benediction where we get the Blessed Blue Dew Talisman. So that's just like the one from the base game. If you guys remember, you get it really early on from the Transporter Weeping Peninsula, but slowly restores health. This is going to slowly restore mana. So if you just use the Ash of War, like I try to do, it's here and there, going through an area, or a spell here and there, it can be quite useful, you know, because it's barely going to restore your HP, or your mana, but it does do it. However, if you're using spells and Ashes of War a lot, it's going to be utterly useless to you, so keep that in mind. From there, we can get the Oath Seeker set, and also the Pata fist weapon. So I do like this armor set, guys. In fact, we're going to put it on just so we're sporting some DLC stuff and using some DLC stuff. But yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. Lightweight. It's simple, but, you know, it just looks good. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice and simple, but it looks nice. Do I have the weight to, like, just, nope. Over a damn helmet, bro? It's only 9.2. What's my echo set? A 12.8's even worse. I didn't want to do this, but I want to just wear something different, you know what I mean? It's also because I'm wielding 2 weapons, but yeah, don't look bad. Just kind of keep it fresh. It's kind of crazy, but you know, we'll switch it up a few times. It's nice just to kind of mix stuff up and blend it. Like I said, if you really want to put a good, like a really good solid build together, guys, like, just mix up stuff from the base game and the DLC. They come together quite nicely. But we're just going to drop down there, and that just brings us right back to where we came in initially into the DLC. Now we're ready to go. So that's everything I wanted to grab for us. Now, if we want to put on our blessings, we'll get up to level 3 already. And we'll only be one short for level 4. So just to help people out, I wasn't going to do anything across this bridge. But thinking about it, guys, if we want to take a second, we can come up here and get another fragment for to upgrade our character, a scatter tree blessing. Then we get the new perfume bottle weapon, not the consumable, it's actually the perfume bottle weapon, fire spark perfume bottle right here. And then we can go right into this castle. We're not going to do anything here, but right at the start, the very first building has a light great sword. Then before we close out, we could actually run the lake too and get the great katana. That's like almost all of the new weapon types. Let's go and do that. 3 paths across. I was going to wait to do this, but I mean, the whole objective of this first episode was to try to give everyone a really good advantage over the stuff we're going to be facing. You know what I mean? And just giving you guys new weapon types and upgrades. And we're already going to be just 1 fragment short, so we might as well just grab it. Get everyone up to +4. There's only 20 upgrades, so that's already, you know what I mean? What's that, 20% of the way there? It's really nice. I think it's going to help a lot. Now, you do get big fancy numbers. So we have a ballista just like every other bridge in the game. This guy's more accurate, though. I will say that. But yeah, you're going to see big numbers of damage, and it's all cool and fancy, but at the end of the day, we're after the damage negation. You know what I mean? Like, we already do decent damage, so we want our upgrades to negate the damage more than anything else. So let's go and grab our side of grace and just turn around, head on back. You're going to see the Statue of America. Go there, get your scatter tree fragment. Then we're just going to keep going straight. And we get onto this little camp. If you want to fight people here, go for it, but we just want the chest. And so they got a little more health than what we've been dealing with. Not much. They're just different enemies, you know. And she's also blocking, so. Oh, you bitch. Alright. That's what you get. We'll clear these guys out just to be safe. Kill her, we should be good. Good God, no poison. Alright. That's the new Mesmer Soldier Axe. It's an axe, you know. Nothing too crazy about it. Just a regular drop. And we're not doing content yet, Brendan. I have to remind myself. Alright. It's going to drop on down. Yeah, the dogs are still assholes, obviously. Now that we're able to fast travel, we'll just jump back to Castle Front. That way we can at least de-aggro everybody. So now we got the perfume bottles, the backhand blades. We're about to just run straight in here. Now just ignore everything. Like I said, we're not doing content yet, right? But this first building over here on the left, you just run on the outside. You just run up and get in that tower and get the light great sword. So I do believe it's worth our time. If you guys want to take this guy out so we don't have to deal with him later, he does drop a somber 9, you know. Might be beneficial not to have to deal with him when we're doing this area. Because he actually doesn't respawn. But he drops some of the new grease we can use. Royal magic grease. There's going to be upgraded grease, you know, that you can apply, weapon buffs. We do need to talk about that. Let me put it down real quick, though. Hey, tough guy. Give my somber 9. There you go, somber 9 and royal magic grease. So instead of magic grease, you're going to have royal magic grease. So it does heavy magic damage instead of just magic damage. And instead of fire grease, you have mesmer fire grease. It does heavy fire damage instead of regular fire damage. That's why we might want to craft stuff over here, because since the DLC enemies are harder, they're giving you stuff to combat that. You know what I mean? So do keep that in mind, guys. Take advantage of this stuff. go up, we're just going to go to the left. I know we didn't kill him. If he follows us, you know, we'll take him out. Is he? Is he dumb? Alright, have a nice trip. See you next fall. So, we're just going to go up this tower, grab the light greatsword, and that's kind of cool. It's an extremely powerful moveset that was, I just really think this is going to help people out here. It's not like the damage is crazy, but the moveset, you know, and it's pretty much base damage, like the base game, you know, regular, quicker weapons doing 650 in game, pretty much the same. But you can also change your affinities. Now, what I like about it, yeah, very versatile moveset. But also, the heavy attacks and light attacks string together. So that's a heavy, then I'm hitting lights. See how they all just interconnect? I just love that, guys. I just love it. I can't get over it. So from here, we got the light greatsword. We got the fragment. Got perfume bottles. Let's jump right over here to Great Bridge North. And we're just going to run right up and get the Great Katana. That's already like half the new weapon types right there, y'all. Half. So you're going to see a huge dragon in here. Now, dragons have more advanced movesets in the DLC. They can strike now with like their arms and all types of stuff. But they all, mostly, not all, most of them are going to drop Somber 10s. We're not fighting them yet, but right in front of them, you run up and get the Great Katana. But yeah, a lot of these guys are going to start dropping Somber 10s now. It's awesome. So let's jump on over to the Scorched Ruins side of Grace and get ready for next episode. So with picking up that fragment, we should be up to +4. It's why the walkthroughs are so useful. Consume the fragments to bolster your scatter tree blessing. And just another warning, it doesn't work outside the realm of shadow. So here you go. If you notice, use one scatter tree fragment to empower blessing. And then you go do it again, and you're already up to 2. And they'll stay up to 2 to like level 8 or 10. And then it's going to go up to 3. So as you see, we're already at level 4. Now these only go up to 10. And they don't make you use 2 for a while here. So that's pretty much at like level 6 to us, because that goes to 20, that goes to 10. So they are actually more upgrade than we are, our summons. But yeah, so this is where we're going to wrap on up, guys. So I hope you're enjoying the walkthrough. I'm really looking forward to going through this together, guys, and getting everything. So before we close on out, NPC quest lines. So through my walkthroughs, I try to get you the most items or the best items in a single playthrough, as you cannot do it all. So, you know, sometimes NPC quest lines interfere with each other. We have to choose one person's side or another. So what I'm going to do is go through, and we're all just going to make our own decisions, you know, because there's a set of weapons I want sooner than later. So you're able to invade certain ones. I'll let you know of each outcome as we get to it. But that way you guys can all make the best decision. And for walkthrough perspective, it might be good to take certain NPCs out sooner rather than later, and better to wait to the end to get the other ones, as far as what items we're going to get and when. And there's some weapons that drop from NPCs and shields that are just going to be so useful. Like I said, walkthrough perspective, we're going to get a few things early, but we still have to wait until almost halfway through, as these quests have to play out to a certain level. You know, we're not like cutting them short, we just end up making a choice. So like one NPC wants to fight another one, so you have 2 summon signs. Now you can choose one or the other, which is pretty regular, or you can ignore them completely, and at the end of the game something else happens. So, you know, sometimes there's 3 choices, and we'll go over it all. I'll tell you what I think's the best, what I think's the most useful to a newer player, and what's going to help them the most. But I did want to mention that because some of these NPC quest lines don't get started for a little bit, not really started for a little bit. You know, like there's 2 NPCs here, there's 2 NPCs here, there's another one over here. So, you know, if we're not getting to them right away, that's kind of why. So we're going to do what we can with them. But for the meantime, all it's really going to be is a conversation until some other things play out. You know what I mean? Typically how, you know, these type of games go. But we're going to close on out. Get ready for our next episode. So once again, thank you guys for the support. I hope you're having a good time, and most importantly, I hope you're finding this helpful. But we will catch y'all back here shortly with the next episode, where we're going to officially start doing content in the Gravesite Plains.